How does somebody go from dolled up, covered in makeup to no makeup at all and loving it?
When you connect to nature, something magical happens. It happened to Pamela Anderson, it happened to me, and it can happen to you if you follow along with this video. For those who don't know, Pamela Anderson is like the icon of, she's a Playboy bunny. She's literally worth $20 million because of the beauty standards she created. She's the Baywatch girl. She's like when you think of hot American, blonde, blue eyes, big boobs. She's inspired so much of what American beauty standards are today. The same things that made me feel like crap about myself as a teenager and even young adult, and even sometimes now because I'm human. But she's changing the conversation around beauty standards to one I can get behind, and one I think you will too. Hey, Adventure Buddy, I'm Sarah, and if you're watching this, you've probably struggled with body image and beauty standards. I know that because you're a human. Think we all do. But even if, like me, you don't really buy into the narratives of beauty standards, you're still a part of them. We're still part of this system. We have expectations placed on us based on how we look, how we dress, and what roles we play for other people. That is what cultures do, and it's what Pamela Anderson did. And she realized she wasn't so happy about that.
Find out who I was again. I wanted to remember who I was. I found I played characters my whole life. I always wanted to be, I was painfully shy as a kid. And doing Playboy, for instance, was a huge leap of faith for me. It just, I was physically sick doing it, but I didn't want to be shy anymore. And then I became, I just thought, well, this is what my fantasy of what a model is, or a playmate is, or a rock star wife is, or what anything is. I'm going to do it the best. And I've been playing these characters along the way. And it just hit me a couple of years ago. And I was like, just shaking my head going, who am I?
Who am I is a hard question to answer, especially in a culture like ours that has a lot of opinions. But unlike culture, nature demands we be ourselves. There's no judgment. There's no narrative. There's no should. I don't know about you, but I feel like I should all the time. I should this, I should that, but can and should are not the same. And nature reminds me of that. It reminded her of it too.
Just shaking my head going, who am I? And that's when I went home into my garden and started, planting things and getting into nature and going back to the trees that knew me since birth. I bought my grandmother's property and renovated it. And I just started taking it all back and then started peeking out without makeup. And then I started realizing, oh, I feel great.
Hold on a second. You may have just missed the most important thing she said. But before I tell you, I actually want to hear from you. Let me know in the comments what's sticking out to you, what's resonating with you below. Did you do it yet? Okay, I'll wait. I'll just check my text messages.
Planting things and getting into nature and going back to the trees that knew me since birth.
She said she went back to the trees that knew her since birth. And the reason Pamela did that, and the reason I do it and you should do it, is because it helps dust off the noise of everyday life and remind you of what's real, what's natural, what's you, and what is good enough, what is beautiful. Nature doesn't try. She just is, and is enough. And she reminds us that we are enough and we just be who we are. It's hard to find in today's world. Take, for example, these apples that have fallen down and are old, right, and ugly and not good. But actually, the cool thing about end of season apples is after the first big frost, they get sweeter and the animals love them and they compost and make the earth more fertile for next spring. And okay, I definitely should have wiped off the dirt, but and they're delicious. Throughout human history, so many people have had trees or beaches or sit spots they go to as a place to connect with themselves, to connect with a higher intelligence. Our greatest resource is nature. It's always here.
And I just started taking it all back and then started peeking out without makeup. And then I started realizing, oh, I feel great as me. Mm-hmm. And I don't want people to think of me as all those cartoon characters I kind of created for protection or for, that's what I think I did it for.
Perfection is a myth, but presence is possible. Presence meaning you're not thinking about how you should look or how you used to look better. You're just present and enough.
Looking back, but this is the best time in my life. I feel so empowered and so free and so excited about life again.
For her, it was gardening. For me, it's as simple as an intentional walk in the woods. What is it going to be for you? What time in nature are you going to give yourself to reconnect with who you are and remember that you're enough? Let me know in the comments below what your spot is. Maybe it's a beach, maybe it's a trail. Let me know what you do to remember how beautiful you are. Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, I guess I care about you. Okay, happy trails, adventure buddy. Bye.